Yeah, today we're going to talk about Web3 marketing. My name is Adam Westeren. I'm 26 from Sweden, and I've been doing this now for 5 years. Before we start talking a little bit about what I planned for today, do we have any other Web3 marketeers in the audience? I don't think so, no. That makes it easier for me. I can talk a little bit what I want to, and not a tough audience, which is great for me. So when it comes to Web3 marketing, it's a big difference when it comes to Web3 marketing and Web2 marketing. Usually the user journey ends in a Web2 campaign when someone has made a purchase. But in Web3, there's essentially where the journey starts, because you're making a purchase that is 1, 2, 3, 4 months ago. So when you set up a Web3 marketing strategy, it's very important that you look into, okay, is this campaign going to generate results? Is it going to generate short-term results, long-term results? What is the overall goal of this campaign? Then I know, like people in Web3, when they hear the word KOL, someone feels like, not really sure if that's the way I should focus my funds upon, and some people feels like that's the only way you can do it. And talking to a lot of founders, there's the same relationship with KOLs as I just explained. And it's very hard to work with the right KOLs. I would say us at our company, we have around 2,000 KOLs within our network, but to be honest, most of them are shit. You don't get any results, and they just, for any dime they get, they will post about a product. So it's a very, very hard landscape to navigate through. But I'm going to touch upon and give some pointers later on how you can avoid those simple mistakes. Are you aligned with Web3 audience expectations? I think what I mean with this is when you set up a campaign or a marketing campaign, it's very important that you're very clear with what the audience you're trying to talk to and get an understanding of, okay, what can I expect from this project? What is going to happen? What am I putting my time and effort in towards? So short about me. As I said, I'm 26 from Sweden. I've been living now in Lisbon 3 years, working full-time at Lunar Strategy. We started the team back in 2019, just four guys, and now we're a team of 40+ team members. We've been working on more than 250 projects in the Web3 space, and hopefully some of that experience I can share with you all today. As I said, so I started my journey as a marketeer in the Web2 space. Did some dropshipping, did some e-commerce, and so on. And basically, the journey ended when someone made a purchase. I made my job, I got someone paid, and that was the whole story. And when we started going into the Web3 space back in 2019, and we were going to set up our first kind of campaigns, there was a lot of new aspects to the entire campaign that we haven't thought of. Okay, community, what is that? That's not something we do in a Web2 space. Social media is something we do, but it's very important in the Web3 space. I would say it's the same, but it has a different type of call to action, I would say. And yeah, going into the Web3 space, we learned like people are not buying something right here and right now. It's all about, okay, how can I get someone excited of something that is maybe 1 month away, 2 months away, or 3 months away? When we started, we picked up that, like when you start any business, the most important thing is you get a lot of clients through the door. And what we noticed then, there's a lot of Web3 projects out there that doesn't really have that much utility, which I'm thankful for now that we started working with them, because then we really had to like find a good marketing strategy to make them work. Because in marketing, it's all about supply and demand. And if there's no utility behind a project, sometimes it can be hard to create demand. So what we started back then is, okay, this is everything we have on the table. This is what we have to work with. This NFT, PFP called Space Nightclub. No one is interested in it right now. How can we, with this budget, make as many people interested as possible? And here's kind of where our journey started in the Web3 space, because how can you create demand of something that doesn't have any value? And essentially, we started working with KOLs back then and gave them a lot of free NFTs. What this started was kind of a snowball effect. They had the NFTs, they started talking about them, and then we got more KOLs to talk about it. And what we did then, we started to increase the demand. But everyone that knows crypto, the supply is the same. And that is essentially how Lunar Strategy got funded with our first marketing campaign for one of our first projects. Successfully campaigns focus on long-term goals. I would say a lot of projects out there, they are a little bit like, horses with their blinders, can only focus on what's right in front of them. And of course, that's good to kind of take you out of where you are right now. But with any successful marketing campaign, you have to look at, okay, where do I want to be in 1 month? Where do I want to be in 6 months? Where do I want to be in 12 months? And how can what I do right now, right here, get me closer to those goals? I think we touched upon the third one as well. When you set up a marketing strategy, I would say these 4 pillars is the core thing behind any marketing strategy. So branding, I think that's just a simple way to make the client happy, to make sure that we talk in a way they want us to talk in. How they want to be persuaded, talked about, that's how we talk about them with our marketing campaign. Goals, mentioned before, you can't only focus on the goals that is right in front of you. You need to have long-term goals, so the campaign we set up right here and now is working towards achieving those goals. I think the 2 latest points here, audience and competitive research, are the most important thing when it comes to any KOL campaign. Because I don't know how many times I've been sitting in a call with clients like, we don't really want to do influencer marketing, it hasn't really worked for us in the past. And then I usually have to convince them why influencer marketing works and why it didn't work for them. And why it didn't work for them is they didn't do their homework before activating the campaign. Because there are, as I said, there are 2,000 KOLs out there. Most of them are not that good. But if you know who you're reaching out to, how you're going to talk to them, and who has that audience, you're going to have an impact. Competitive research. I would say if you have a Web3 project, it's 99% there is some similar project out there in the space that has gone through the journey that you want to go. And there's also some project that is similar to you that they tried but failed. Look into what they did. What did they do that failed, that didn't work for them? Okay, how can you learn from that so you don't do the same? And the same with someone that have had a success. Okay, what worked for them? What was their messaging? How did they position themselves? What kind of campaigns, incentive programs did they use that worked really good? Because just because you're starting a new business or a new company or a project, you don't have to do everything from scratch. We have data. Like we at Lunar Strategy, we have worked with 250 projects, and that data, of course, we use that for every new campaign, and the same should you. So when it comes to using KOLs to get the right results, one of the most important things is that you look at KOLs as a way to funnel people, the same as TV ads when you watch a TV at home or any YouTube video where they do a short promotion about any product. That's kind of how you should look into your KOLs. So before we work with KOLs, there are 3 things we look at. Okay, who is the audience that would find my product interesting? Because when you know that, okay, now I know my audience. Who has this audience? How can I reach this audience? And then when you find those 2 points is, okay, how can I talk to the audience so they find what I'm saying interesting? And that's how you start. Before you talk, you start promoting with KOLs, you start with reaching out. And also one thing that is very important before you activate any influence campaign is that you have done the right preparations. So usually when you set up an influencer marketing campaign, you funnel all of that, you funnel everyone that come across the content to your X page. And then it's very important that your X page is set up properly. Because we live in a digital world, people have attention span close to 0. Most of you have already most likely gotten bored of what I'm talking about right now. It's the case, that's the world we live in. So it's very important when you later on funnel those people to your X page that they get an understanding of what the project is, and get excited about what to come. You can sell a vision, because the faster you can get people excited and understand the product or the project you're building, the easier you will have to convert. It's the same with a website in a Web 2 space. So as I said, So competitive research, why it's so important. Identify trends and audience needs. As someone has done the journey that you're looking to go, the data and what to do should already be out there. Of course, you shouldn't go exactly the way they go or went, but at least you can look at it. Look at, okay, what social media campaigns did they do that got a lot of attention, that people liked and commented on and find really amusing? What influencers did they work with that got a lot of excitement? Look into the data that's already out there. What every Web3 campaign needs. I would say invest in a strong brand, make it super easy for people to understand what you're trying to build and the vision behind the project. Build excitement for the future, not just the present. And I think this is something that a lot of Web3 projects is doing wrong. Because if I'm going to take my time and invest in a project, it's not just about where the product is right now. Okay, great, you have established X, Y, and Z, but that's putting you at the evaluation you're at right now, if you've already gone to market. And you're trying to talk to me that I should invest in you as a project. Okay, where are you going to be in 2 months from now, 3 months from now, that is going to make my investment go up in value? Because that's what most people in the crypto space care about. Optimize your social presence, especially Twitter. I can't emphasize this enough. Twitter is the most important platform for any crypto project. It's where you build your trust with your community. It's very important that you don't distrust your community, because as soon as you start being unfaithful or not being fully transparent with the community, that's how you lose them. Leverage audience insights and competitive data. I would say one part of the crypto community that I really love is it's very passionate. You can see projects just taken off by communities taking over. So make sure if you build a project in the space to make your community feel heard. That, okay, if someone share a thought or someone take an action, and make sure they feel like they're doing something and getting some value back for it. Thank you so much for listening to me talking about Web3 marketing. I'm going to share a few more insights when it comes to strategy before we call it off. And when it comes to setting up a marketing campaign in this space, it's all about thinking, okay, how is this going to be looked at from an investor's point of view? One of the strategies that I call the breadcrumb strategy. It's people in this space, they buy on rumors or news. They don't buy on the actual truth. So for example, if a project is going to have a new listing or they're going to do something, don't you share the entire news, what is going to happen. It's the same with Christmas. If you would know what you would got for Christmas, you would kind of lose excitement. Or when Santa is going to come up, if it's going to show up 8 sharp, then you're not excited for, okay, Santa coming soon. It's similar to marketing. Don't give them the entire, I wouldn't say truth, but don't give them the entire cake, because if you can just give them small pieces, they can create their own story. One other thing is also, people don't like to be told what to do. For example, if you work with a KOL and the goal is to get people to talk about the project or buy into this token. If a KOL tells me, go buy this token, it's the best one out there, I would say, no, I don't buy your bullshit, because you've most likely been paid to say this. If you instead can provide value as a KOL or a content creator, which we like to call them, then you're going to get a lot more traction. Let's, for example, take, I'm a content creator that has been now paid. I'm part of a marketing campaign to talk about this project. If I, instead of telling you, oh, buy this project, it's so great, this is what they've done, X, Y, Z, instead I compare it with another project. So let's say I'm talking about a DeFi project. We had a great DeFi project launch just now called GetGrass. And if I compare the new project, like, this is what this project is doing, similar to this project GetGrass that did a 5x, then I provide information that kind of can get me as an investor to draw the conclusion myself that I should spend more time investing in this project. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you everyone for listening.